Greetings to everyone. Today we'll talk about an issue that many of us face: laziness. How often do we put off important tasks, promising ourselves to start tomorrow, but that tomorrow never comes? Laziness can become a huge barrier to reaching our goals. But the good news is, it can be overcome. Today I'll share how to beat laziness using the ancient wisdom of Stoicism. These philosophers not only learned to accept life as it is, but also found the strength to act despite difficulties and obstacles. Let's see how we can apply their approaches to overcoming laziness. Part 1: Understanding laziness through Stoicism. Laziness isn't just the desire to do nothing. For the Stoics, it's a form of avoiding responsibility. Stoics believe that each of us has duties to ourselves and society. When we're lazy, we're choosing the easy path instead of the beneficial one. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most famous Stoics, talked about how every morning when we wake up, we should ask ourselves, what good can I do today? Laziness keeps us from moving forward. But the Stoics believed that everyone could overcome it through self-discipline and conscious action. Laziness begins in the mind. We find excuses for why we can't start right now. But the Stoics taught that action is more important than thoughts. Laziness is an internal enemy that needs to be fought, just like any other temptation. Once you realize that laziness is a choice, you begin to see that you always have the power to act despite it. Part 2: Controlling emotions, the key to overcoming laziness. The Stoics believe that our emotions play a huge role in our lives, and often they're the ones that prevent us from acting. Laziness isn't just physical inactivity, it's an emotional state where we feel comfortable doing nothing, where we avoid the discomfort that comes with work or effort. But once we learn to control our emotions, laziness loses its power over us. The Stoics used the technique of emotional distancing. This means they didn't let their feelings dictate their actions. For example, if you feel lazy, instead of giving in to that feeling, try to step back and ask yourself, what do I really want? To achieve my goal or to get short-term comfort from an action? Emotional discipline is the ability to focus on long-term goals, even when laziness tries to stop you. Part 3: Distinguishing between what's in your control and what's not. One of the key principles of Stoicism is distinguishing between what we can control and what we can't. Laziness, as an internal state, is fully within our control. Yes, sometimes circumstances may be unfavorable, but how we react to them depends only on us. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "We cannot control external events, but we can control our reaction to them." Laziness is our reaction to tasks that seem difficult or unpleasant. But the Stoics taught that we should focus on what's within our power. This means that instead of complaining about difficulties or procrastinating, it's better to take the first step right away. Remember, the Stoics didn't strive for an easy life, they sought a life of meaning, filled with action. Part 4: Small steps to overcome laziness. The Stoics believe that discipline and consistency are the keys to success in any endeavor. They didn't wait for inspiration or the right mood to start doing something. If a task was in front of them, they simply did it. And even if the task seemed too big, they broke it down into small steps and moved forward without stopping. You can apply the same approach in the fight against laziness. Start with small tasks. Maybe it seems like you can't accomplish everything right away, but take the first step. It might only take 5 minutes. But once you start, it'll be easier to continue. Small actions create big habits. The Stoics taught that every action, even the smallest, matters and brings us closer to our goals. Part 5: Constant self-improvement, the Stoic way. Stoicism isn't just a philosophy, it's a way of life. And the fight against laziness isn't a one-time effort, but a constant process of self-improvement. The Stoics asked themselves every day, what can I do better? Where was I weak? This helped them see their weaknesses and work on them. Laziness is one such weakness that needs to be conquered every day. Practice discipline like the Stoics did. Plan your day and do at least one useful thing, even if you don't feel like it. Constant self-improvement is the path to freedom from laziness and other negative habits. Over time, you'll notice that taking action becomes easier, and laziness no longer has as much power over you. In conclusion, laziness is an obstacle, but not an insurmountable one. By using the philosophy of the Stoics, we can learn to overcome it through self-discipline, emotional control, and conscious action. The main thing to remember is that everything depends on us. The Stoics taught that we can control our behavior and thoughts. And although the path to overcoming laziness may be long, it's worth it because every small victory over yourself brings you closer to the best version of you. Remember that laziness isn't an enemy, but an opportunity to become stronger and more disciplined.